Oh, food?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, we're going live. There's always like some technical issue in the beginning, so. All right. Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are. All right, I have the go live. It's on. Let's open this to a bigger screen. Okay, cool. All right, welcome back, Richard Gomez, who completed Ironman Florida. If you guys are interested in hearing his full journey to get to Ironman Florida, we did that in a previous live, and it's on Facebook, but it's also on Instagram. And I'll be posting the link to that below this video in the future if you want to hear the lead up. But we're going to focus today on just the actual race day, just because he had such an amazing outcome. I couldn't be more proud of you, Richard. So congratulations. But let's talk about like your race the week before the race and like making a race plan. Let's talk about that first.
Okay. I mean, basically leading up to the race, and not just leading up to the race, but kind of my whole goal when I started down this was, first off, I wanted to do an Ironman, but based on my previous bad experience doing Augusta, the half Iron, my main goal was really I wanted to do the Ironman. I wanted to run the whole race, and I wanted to feel good when I was done.
Yep.
And as I told you in my text after the race, it was check. Oh, and then I had a 14-hour goal, and I did it in 12:48. So it was check, and then killed it.
Bonus. Killed it, right?
Yeah. But leading up to the race, I mean, honestly, not till the, maybe the day or two before did a little bit of anxiety and doubt kick in because unfortunately, due to COVID, what was a year plan became a year and a half plan. But, I knew I was ready. I put in a lot of training. I started with getting my body right first, and then started working on my form and technique and everything with you and with Dennis and with Danny and all the coaches, and then worked up on my just general cardio and being able to maintain the distance that's required for an Ironman. But leading up to it, I worked with you on a couple different tweaks, but we put together a very detailed nutrition plan, which was key to the race. I not only planned out what I was going to eat, but I planned out when I was going to eat it, and I stuck to that plan to the T. I did add one thing last minute, which was bone broth. And for anybody listening out there that's going to do an Ironman, I highly recommend it. It's real food, and it just settled my body and my stomach down halfway through the run. And I'll thank JJ and Jessica, two other full circle athletes that gave me that advice. And I actually went and got a thermos and filled it up and had it for my race. But leading up to the race, I kind of walked myself through every different phase of the race, the swim, the bike, the run, thought about, what could possibly go wrong, and kind of tried to work out little workarounds in my head.
So let's go back. Let's stop there for a second, because that's your race plan, right? So right. I request this of you. Honestly, we did it in March, right? And then we did it again in July. We did, we kept tweaking it, and you came back to me with your first time prediction. I was like, no way, dude, you're faster than that. And he's like, no, I don't know. I'm like, 100% you're faster. So I brought it down a little bit. And so we basically we created the training plan, or the race plan, based on your training zones and what you did in training. So these were real numbers. We did not pull these numbers from the sky or make them up. These were your power numbers that you had trained. These are your swim paces that you had swam and you did the distance at. These were your running paces that you did your 20-mile run at, right? So these were very specific, but Ironman is so logistical and so many things can happen on race day. I usually have people do like a conservative race result, and then I have them do a dream. And for you, we were conservative just because you didn't come into the sport of triathlon being an expert swimmer, being an expert cyclist, or being an expert runner. But you're very well balanced across all three. But I can tell you got faster in every single one. And that's one of my biggest things with coaching my athletes is fast before long, right? Fast and strong before long. We didn't even do any majorly long workouts until the last 8 weeks leading up to the race, right?
Right.
I mean, do you feel like that helped you as far as not getting too burnt out and cooked as far as the volume piece of it?
Yeah, I mean, I really felt, I felt super fresh the day of the race. I tapered. I tapered 2 weeks, but really the last week I really toned it down. The first week was kind of a half taper,
right?
And I felt good. And I was probably very likely to burn out because of the fact that I had started training for Lake Placid that was supposed to happen in July.
Right.
I started training, right at the beginning of COVID and the shutdown. So
right.
I was primed to burn out, and we fortunately picked the right time to dial it down during COVID and go back to just doing speed and working on form, and then started building back up as we got closer to Ironman Florida.
Yeah, and then it wasn't like a trajectory like this. I mean, you had setbacks, you had the hamstring issue. Was there any other real issues besides the hamstring? I'm trying to think.
No, I mean the hamstring grew into, then my calves started hurting, but it was just all tied to the hamstring. But look, that was the part for me on the race that was amazing, was that I don't know if it was the adrenaline or it was just like the tapering and working and making sure that I was stretching it out and keeping it as healthy as possible leading up to the race. But except for on the bike, where it was just a matter of stretching out a couple times that I started getting a little tight, I didn't even feel my hamstring during the run.
That's awesome.
And the run was that was the fastest 20. I mean, not that I did a lot of 20 milers, but the fastest 20 I ever did was on race day.
Perfect.
That was always my fear is, I was always around, 12-minute miles anytime I went over 20-mile runs, and that was on fresh legs. I was now doing that off of the 112-mile bike ride, so I was expecting to suffer, and I didn't. I mean, it was one of those things I attribute it to, they say success is when luck meets preparation. I had a lot of luck. I mean, honestly, nothing major went wrong, which is weird. I was expecting something. I was expecting a flat tire, a rash, a blister. I had a couple little blisters on my feet, but nothing that I wasn't able to deal with. And that was it. I mean, the wind was a little bit of a factor, but that's part of racing.
Right. And we train in the wind, right?
Yeah.
That's what Miami is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would say, like, attesting to the fact that you did faster on race day, it's because we were, all those long runs that we did, you were doing them on tired legs. And I'm a big proponent of the low heart rate running. But that builds your aerobic engine, and then you were doing the speed work as well. So you're building the two ends of the spectrum so that on race day you can deliver what's physiologically appropriate to you. So we had the original goal of I think you had, what was your original time goal?
My goal was 14. I was
14. And then I came back with a 13:30.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, you can, and this was a no, like 100% 13:30. It wasn't like maybe a 13:30. It was like 100% 13:30. And then, so what happened when you were out there on race day and everything was falling into place and you were having this great session. Now, you did mention you got a little tired on the bike and you were ready to get off, right? That's normal. But was there anything out there on race day that you were like, okay, that was key? Like that totally helped set me up to have this race. And when you realized that you were going to break 13 hours, like
there were two things. One was definitely leading the couple days before the race. I tested everything out. I did half the swim. I rode the run.
That's the super day, right?
No. I'm talking
super day.
No. I'm talking about the actual couple days right before the race.
Okay.
That I went and swam
in Panama City. Yeah, in Panama City. Okay,
I swam half the course.
Right.
I rode the bike course. I rode the run course and I drove the bike course.
Yeah.
That kind of settled me down a lot because it was unfamiliar terrain. So that definitely was a big thing. But for me, the key that where I kind of felt like I got this and I know I could do it was when I started. I would say halfway through the run that I felt like I still had a lot left in the tank. My nutrition was, like I said, I followed our plan to the T. On my bike ride, I had markers when to have my Go Macro bars, when to have my gel, when to have Infinite, when to drink water. Which that was actually that was something that I hadn't really trained with a lot, which was the Aero bottle. And that was key also. That really helped keep me hydrated, and also getting that bottle filled during the race was very easy. Right. It wasn't I didn't have to switch bottles. I barely had to stop at my special needs station. So that was key. But really on the bike, on the run, when I got to the halfway point and I felt like I still had plenty left in the tank, I had my bone broth, my little meal treat at the halfway point, and I just got, I got my second wind. And listen, once I got about mile 18, the adrenaline and just the excitement of knowing that I was going to do it kicked in. And then when I got, between the last 3 miles, I didn't use my triathlon function on my watch.
Right.
I swam, I turned my watch off, I used my bike computer, and then I turned my watch back on the run.
Right.
But, when you're running for 5 hours, you have a lot of time to do math in your head. And I started kind of doing some math, and I realized that I honestly didn't think I had broken 12. I thought I was at like 13. I know I was in the low 13s. But I didn't think I had gotten it below 13 hours.
Right.
Till I got to my bike. I didn't even know because they don't tell you your time when you finish.
Right.
So
when you got your bike after the race, you didn't.
Yeah. When I got my bike after the race, that's when I realized that I had done a 12:48. I thought I was around 13:10. Right. Because at one point, during the run, like I said, at the halfway point, I decided, you know what, let me regroup. And I had my bone broth. I had a candy bar, fixed my socks, and I took a little breather there just to kind of make sure I didn't burn out at the last half. Right. And I thought there I had lost it because I was going at an 11-minute pace the whole time. And I knew if I kept that, I was going to kill my time. So
that's one thing that I always ask my athletes to give themselves a treat to look forward to at the halfway bag on the run, because you're kind of tired of eating all the sports nutrition, right? So what was your treat of choice?
Well, like I said, I made a thermos of bone broth, and then I had a Gatorade chocolate bar waiting for me at the halfway point.
Yeah, people pick Reese's peanut butter cups or a frozen Snickers that they freeze overnight and put it in their halfway.
Oh, I did do that. I did have it frozen.
There you go. Yeah, so that helps. Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Well, I can't be more proud of you. Talk about just working the plan and then delivering on race day. Such an inspiration to me. But also to the whole group. Full Circle Coaching Tribe is so, so proud of you, Richard. Is there anything else that you would want to share? I want to mention one thing. You did that, the picture behind you is camp, Ultimate Tri Camp last year. So you did attend camp, and my picture behind me is also Ultimate Tri Camp, and we are having that soon. So would you say that Ultimate Tri Camp helped in any way along your journey?
Oh, definitely. I mean, well, actually, believe it or not, you probably don't recognize me, but that's 2 years ago, and I'm there.
Oh, you're there?
I am there.
I didn't remember that you came to that
Yeah,
one.
and I think that's Carlos too. I'm right behind Adriana.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, so you've been to 2 Ultimate Tri Camps. So
Yeah.
did you feel like well, the last one I feel like set you up a little bit more because you were really dialed in and you got leaner even from from last year, that's 2 years ago, to this year camp, you were a completely different human being in physique, would you say?
Yes. No, I mean, that's when I just started with you.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I like about the camp is, even though, when I'm training at home, I'm, and even at the end of the training for the Ironman, I was really focused, but there's so many distractions. Even it's hard as much as you try and force yourself to be, present in your training and focused on what you're doing. I have kids, I have a wife, I have a job. There's always something that's distracting, and those 4 days of just nothing but focused on not only the training, but it's everything. You bring in the coaches, you bring in professional triathletes to talk, give you uh, tips on what they do and what, some good, some bad.
Exactly. Yeah, you get to hear other people's stories. Yeah, it's a great time. And then also the recovery aspect of every single day, the recovery, the sports recovery tools that we have, and the stretching and all that stuff. So it's super comprehensive. But
yeah, and riding in Claremont is always a great treat, which I'm gonna have to figure out time to do now before Oceanside.
Exactly. So he's already got his next goal. Okay, well, Richard, thank you so much for your time. Everybody, put a little heart if you enjoyed this story, because you were such an inspiration to me. It's been such a pleasure working with you. I'm so excited for what's more to come. I think you have more in you. There's not a doubt in me. So I'm excited to keep the journey going, but I'm so, so proud of you. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, and one thing I did want to add to it, and it was probably my favorite part of it, is the fact that, through your plan, I was able to not only get my body right, but I had a lot of stomach issues, and before I started training with you, and you helped me get through that. And of course, physically you got me in shape, but all of that allowed me to enjoy the race, because I saw a lot of people out there doing it, but they were suffering.
Right.
And a few people even mentioned it to me, like, man, you got the right idea. Because I was talking, I was joking around with people, I was having fun, and that was my main goal. Exactly. I didn't want to do an Ironman to collapse after and be like, oh, I did it and I'm dead. I did it, and I got a little emotional at the end that, you guys saw that I broke down. But, the best part of it was that I had JJ, 20 yards in front of me, making fun of me. So I started cracking up right after, and I got over it. But, except for that one point, I really because of the fact that I was, physically ready for it, mentally ready for it, and my nutrition was on point, I really got to enjoy the race. And was my ultimate goal. I wanted it to be a fun experience.
Yeah,
so thank you for that.
You're very welcome, Richard. I'm honored that you chose me to help you on your journey. And your photo across the finish line made me cry. When I saw that, I got goosebumps everywhere. I saw your time, and you didn't even know your time. And you physically, your picture that you have on your Facebook right now of that one, I'm like, look at that guy. Like, that is, like, you look so amazing compared to when I first started with you. Like, you just look like such a complete athlete. You know what I mean? You're like a total rock star. So congratulations on the journey. Thanks for choosing me to help you. And there's much more to come, right?
Yep.
All right, you guys.
I gotta get my schedule adjusted so I can start going back to training with you guys during the week, because this training by myself is for the birds.
I know. Well, we miss you too. So yeah. All right, you guys, have a great day. I hope you enjoyed that. Give us a heart, a like, share it with anybody who might need some inspiration. And there's much more to come. I'm getting a couple more interviews this week. All right, you guys. Wishing you well. Have a good day. Bye, Richard.
Bye.
Bye.